Arcane to Vetex is what miners are to Drake. He has fucked this game so hard with 1.16, it's unreal. Warrior has gone fucking insane now. Vetex may have took Fury of the Sea's AoE scaling, halved it, but in exchange you can have like non-stop AoE now. You can stack Rising Tide, Shining Cycle, Whirlwind, Sparrow Thrust, Fury of the Sea, Flash Strike, and Cult Projectiles if you want, onto a moveset of Warrior. And since Surge isn't nerfed, you can get killed in one Surge by a full power glass cannon mage, or nearly one shot by a 20 ult blast. But hey, at least they're removing the grab immunity on Surge. But the grab immunity after being grabbed still exists, so you can still take a monolithic amount of damage before escaping Surge. Because, you know, landing a grab should be punishable by 1k damage. But they killed attack speed for fun, I guess. And no nerfs to AoE means there's a pretty, clear fair way to win most of your fights if you use mage or warrior. I think Vitality is bugged to not raise the damage of their shit on Vitality Imbue. From what I've heard, you can do 130 damage with 70 power on Knight. Not exactly sure how that's meant to happen, but that wouldn't have been exactly fair anyway if it functions as it was intended, so I'm not complaining. If it gets patched, it would be obscenely powerful because of the higher stat efficiency in exchange for a minuscule amount of drawback. But speaking of stat efficiencies, can we get a round of applause for the testers? They managed to make Dents give speed this update. And that's barely an exaggeration. Moves that don't belong to the weapon type they're used on have inversed speed efficiency. So for example, Crushing Judgment on Dent's Halberd has 1.4 speed affinity, because Dent's Halberd has 0.6, and Flying Slash on Ardent PTD has 0.6 speed affinity. It's a fucking joke. I'm hoping that it gets fixed when hotfixes drop. There's a few other attack speed bugs that fuck it up even more, but that's just the most retarded in my opinion. So yeah, the balance is a joke, don't get me wrong. It's great that Vetex has, after a year, added one of the 4 primary stat routes that was promised years before release, and has finally plugged the versatility gap between weapons and other routes. But fucking hell, the balancing is comical. I understand that there's not a good solution to the weapon customization because that's how it's intended, but the AoE spam potential is so fucking oppressive. It's comparable to 300 speed Shadow Mage in my opinion, but that could just be a bias from me fighting aimsell using it this way. But then again, the skill floor to use the moveset effectively is low enough to find a fucking fossil if you're using it. I could complain about balance forevermore, but that'd suck as a video even more than my videos already do. So the next part of this video is how much of a tragic disappointment the story was. While I know it wasn't meant to be huge, Vetex had no right to call that shit a chapter. It lasted 3 minutes excluding sailing. I recorded my playthrough in the hopes that we'd get an interesting, chapter of some gameplay. But to surmise, we missed the conflict at Port Mistral. Morden got sidelined again, and we go back to Samaria to talk to Nilla. Oh, and there's a fight scene where you get to use 2 moves before they're all dead. They could have replaced that with fucking Morden one-shotting them as a show of his power. They were more insignificant than the Wolves Bandits. So yeah, it was a 4-minute sail to and from Port Mistral, 126 speed boat, and that was 3 minutes of story there, and probably 1 minute at best dialogue with Nilla. Most of the chapter is spent getting to Port Mistral, and I was in a fast boat, so it's a bit of a fucking joke. You'd think that the 4 level cap would also get closed by the near full chapter of story, right? I'm pretty sure you finish at level 38 if you start from 136. I'd also like to remind everyone that Vetex promised monthly updates where he'd publish whatever's done. Because of his brilliant planning, he delayed the update by scrapping town alignment midway through doing it, and instead adding a singular vitality skill, vitality imbuement and weapon customization. They're good features, but can I just remind everyone that the vitality imbue doesn't fucking work properly? Come on Vetex, this is treacherous. While the update could have taken a month, or a bit more, if he had just fucking not scrapped town alignment and postponed vitality and weapon customization to 1.17, I think that would have been better in my, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't, just my opinion. But here's to 1.17, where hopefully they'll fix agility, maybe. We will get a balance patch before then, but will Vetex even read the balance document, let alone implement all of it? That's a fucking gamble and a half. It's like landing on the length of a coin, I'm not sure what it's called, the bit that isn't the fucking sides. You know what I mean. The game's fucked, to be honest. That'll play much of 1.16. Subscribe if you think the update was dog shit. Or just any negative opinion at all.